So just to give you an example of like how unprepared I am usually, I have my bag, I put my books in there, I'm gonna sell my books, but then I forget my change, right? Or I have my change in my books and then I forget a pen, right? There's something always missing. So I forgot my copy of the book where I have things marked. So we're just gonna wing it. Hopefully this goes well. Nombre. My name breaks into a 2-bedroom house where ghosts live. The doormat reads, "Home is heaven." My name likes the idea of this. It breaks in, it robs, gets caught, does time in a cell 6 by 8, where all you own is your name, recently found dead on the floor. My name is what happens when you're afraid to be free. A secret said so softly in your ear, you'll ask again, what was his name? My name sometimes forgets its name, calls itself nombre instead, un hombre. There are no angels here, there are no angels here, just a name who can't forgive his father, who can't forgive his own sins. My name watches over me at night or drags me from my bed burning. Lobe. I wrote this in your workshop. I'm now gonna see all the edits that Buckley at one point did through these poems. They're gonna haunt me. They still do a little bit. Lobe. We lie in bed when she tells me she is pregnant. I imagine a body tender and small, the lobe of an ear floating in her belly. Already, I am eager to whisper a name. Ángel, she says, I'm not ready to have a baby. I rise and sit on the edge of our bed, cover my face with my hands. Still, a part of me believes a man shouldn't cry in front of a woman, even in the dark. She sits beside me and searches for my face. Gently, she peels my hands away, finger after finger. She places her hands in mine, our small embrace, warm, wet, and empty. That was mostly you. Sorry, Phil, I think I messed this up. Got it. I was having a conversation in my mom's kitchen the other day, and I was like telling her all the terrible things that happen in elementary school that she didn't know about, you know? Teachers like grabbing students by the neck, right? Like cursing at them. We would wreak havoc in class. Every substitute teacher that came into the classroom, the principal inevitably would come to the class and tell us to settle down. And there was one substitute teacher who told us we were all devils and we were going to hell. It was just good times, really. But every now and then, there was just something that just kind of stuck with me. And there's just lots of violence that, went through the hallways, through the playground. And so this poem's called Blood. I was 11 the first time I saw a girl bleed. Between the boys' restroom and a storage bungalow, we watched in rapture 2 girls begin to beat one another. A single drop blossoming on a white blouse. It didn't stop. Soon it spread across their pants, spilled onto the concrete beneath them. One girl, the smaller girl, beaten so badly she could not fight back, and instead her blouse ripped open, covered herself. One hand over her breasts, the other clutched in the black hair of the girl who would not stop, the hollow pop of her fists against cheek. I swear I could smell it, like rust in the air, and as I walked back across the blacktop, I felt it. Slowly, my stomach turned. At home, I locked myself in the bathroom to vomit, afraid to feel what beneath my legs grew swollen. I'm going to read a longer poem. My parents used to have, or we still do, we have a house in Ensenada, Baja California. My parents wanted to build a house, a retirement home for my grandparents. There's 4 boys growing up there, and we'd pretty much go down there every weekend or the entire summer, and my parents would build this house, and my brothers and I would just play pretty much the entire day in empty fields. We would chase lizards, we'd go to the beach. But the drive down there was pretty much 3 hours or 4 hours straight. And because my father would get off a graveyard shift, no, it was, I guess, the swing shift. We drive late at night, and he just wanted to get there as soon as possible. So this poem is called Piss. I'm standing before a urinal in a room full of urinals, hundreds, white-toothed and impeccable, a porcelain simper mocking the baby chick in my hands. I freeze, though my boy body is ready, the sudden shudder of goose flesh, the release and trickle, a stream the color of too little water to drink. Warmth rising. But when it comes clumsily and full of consequences, drops of urine spotting my pant legs and shoes, speckling my hands, pee pouring down my thigh, my knee, then foot, drowning in what tastes like the sea, salt water and toxin, the bladder's dirty bath water, a weak stream, now a river, a deafening cascade that sweeps me awake. What pools on the mattress becomes darker than the night. Startled, body shivering, I lie still and understand the cold crawling across my body is something bad I've done. In the bathroom, I undress in the dark, ball up my clothes inside the balled up sheets and sneak outside to the trash. Because nothing would stop my father from getting where he wanted to go on hours-long road trips, we knew to ask for nothing. Not food if we were hungry, not something to drink, not one 5-minute stop so we could all take a piss on the side of the road. Instead, we saved 2-liter bottles and took turns. 4 boys, my brothers and I, kneeling in the back of the van, each of us trying to steady our aim, maintain balance. My shorts barely covered my ass as I tried to stick the worm between my legs into the mouth of the bottle, making the occasional spill, warm urine running down my hands, trailing over my fingers, crying over the bottle, unable to control my body, angry at another ritual failure. My father picks me up for the weekend. Not true. He tells me he's missed me since leaving. Not true. He pulls up along the curb and says, "We're here." Not true. Not a home, but a curb painted red. Not true. A van parked along the street. Not true. The acrid scent of his tools dizzying. Not true. Wrench, hammer, screwdriver, nails. Not true. I ask him, where do you go to the bathroom? Not true. 2-liter bottles lined up in the back of the van. Not true. Some empty, some full. Not true. I am 13 the first time I pity my father. True. In the van, I lie beside my father while he sleeps. A street lamp bathes us in light. The constant hum makes it possible for me to fall asleep. Instead, I watch the shadows of homeless men peer into the windows. Hours before I have to get up for school, I tell myself I can hold it, that I'm too old to piss myself. I watch a cop slip a ticket beneath the wiper blade, watch it wrinkle with the morning dew, imagine the familiar "goddammit" escaping his lips, hoping that maybe this is what'll make him angry. Not the urine spreading over my belly as I watch in shame the morning sun turn the sky into liquid. If anyone needs the restroom, feel free to leave at any point. Ash. Children who know nothing of snow dig in their thin pockets for change to ask the woman pushing a shopping cart for a raspado. Her raspador scraping over a block of ice, the already melting mound pushed into the mouth of a styrofoam cup. Each crystal is white as the clouds passing above. Buckley at it. When they sit on the stoop to slurp the sweetness, their lips reveal everything about want. Limes hanging from the backyard limb, strawberries bleeding onto the kitchen table, the blue of the stringy sky. Nothing is as it seems. Today, the sky is filled with soot, and most of California is burning. What falls from the sky and piles onto the parked cars is something like snow. Only there are no children outside to roll snowmen, to lie down on the lawn, coats growing wet as they form angels, to pack snowballs tightly into fists. Everything quiet. I sit on the porch beside my girlfriend watching ash fall and cover the city in gray. She has lived on this block all her life and has never seen snow. The first time I saw it fall, I was only 5, living in Texas. I begged my mother to let me outside, and after she wrapped me in coat after coat, I went out. I tell my girlfriend I did not play, convinced snow was some kind of miracle. Tell her how I knelt down to carefully scoop several handfuls of snow into my eager mouth, and how my tongue for the rest of the day kept burning. Yes, it is. All right. My poor mother. I mean, there's just 4 boys, and then my father. You know, that's a lot of testosterone to be in the room or in the house, the apartment, wherever we were. What's that? Yeah, that too. Um, and over the years, we just kind of found ways to like mess with her, taunt her. Um, we were not always nice. And so this poem is called Quaker Oats. Today the bears came out again and grizzled outside my window, hungry. Cloaked in a red hood, I began to dream of oatmeal, dry and clumpy, like my mother made on Sunday mornings before church, where I prayed to a God I didn't believe in 6 days out of the week. And, never satisfied, I complained it was too hot or too cold just to annoy her. And some Sundays told her that even a wild bear wouldn't eat her oatmeal. And she would cry over the pot making the oats just right. And I would eat them whole, barely chewing, before she sent me outside to play in the backyard, more an overgrown forest, where I'd fall asleep beneath a tree and dream of being eaten for such small sins. I'm going to read two more. I think that's right. It's strange to like have always wanted a book. It's not that strange, but yeah, I've always wanted a book. And then, they sent me an advance copy and it's in my hands and my name's on it. But so many other people deserve so much more credit. Poets that I've read, instructors that I've worked with. And so the collection becomes this collaborative process, right? And so throughout the book, there's influence everywhere, right? There's that connection with other poets. And so this poem is, I guess, dedicated to a poet that became important for me. The title is I Smoke My Last Cigarette While Andres Montoya Preaches to the Willow Tree. I should point out that it was not my last cigarette, unfortunately. Working on it. When the phone rings, he tells me God is calling. Neither of us answers. Beneath a willow tree, half drunk at 2:45 p.m., I take inventory of the slow day. A pit bull gnashing after the school children, the boy porch-ridden until his parents get off work at 6, who sharpens a stick on the sidewalk. The man who pushes a shopping cart black-lunged and bloated through the intersection. I have to give up, I tell him. Andres responds, God's love is everlasting. I say, this is my last smoke. I'm making myself feel sick. Jesus, were he alive today, he says, would have no home. Slowly, I inhale and every breath kills me, like gravel in my chest, my body begging. We die with only our bad habits, he whispers, and loving what kills us is the cruelest trick the devil ever played. In the kingdom of this city I have begun to hate, I watch the light being choked from the neon sky. The breeze passing through the leaves turns them beautifully iridescent. It's enough to make me cry. I confess everything in this city will soon break us. Andres begins to recite a prayer that sounds faintly familiar. When I can no longer hear him, I say, Amen. One last poem, and this is Teeth Never Sleep 2. Teeth Never Sleep Part 1 is in the book. Shameless plug. Clearing out what's lived beneath my mother's bed, I find in a felt-lined jewelry box a chatter of teeth that prattle in my palm. Though I can't be certain, memory clouded by 20 years of bedside dust, I remember once, one night, while my father slept on the couch, my mother took out tooth after tooth from the box and recited the names of my brothers from whose mouths they came, arranging them on her bed into mouths that had not spoken in years. Just a boy, I saw this was a ritual only she knew. Imagined it was her alone at night who collected from beneath our pillows the boys we would never again resemble. The small animals culled from our mouths by my father, a loose tooth tied to a doorknob or clenched between needle-nose pliers. Our bones, vessels, a word so soft it belies the pools of blood we swallowed, each of us wanting to keep in our mouths what we feared losing or becoming. Thank you.